My life improved tenfold. Where I couldn't walk in a grocery store without my fingers swelling up, or my knees, if I walked around the block, my knees getting so swollen that I couldn't go and work out. About 4.5 months after starting my efforts in the program, my A1C was now 5.3. My name is Tammy Cockrell. I am 52 years old, and earlier this year in March, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, high cholesterol, high LDL, low HDL, a whole battery of things, and it rocked my world. My doctor had told me that if I lost 30 pounds, I was 234 at the time, and if I lost 30 pounds, I could come off the blood pressure medication. And at this point, I was about 20 pounds down, and my blood pressure was getting worse. I was eating vegetarian. I was cooking meals the way I had always cooked them and just pulling meat out of it, and thinking that I was doing good that way. But we increased the quantity of oils that we were using and cheese. I never brought so much cheese into my house as I did when I went vegetarian. I had spent a year eating what I thought was healthy and doing the right things to try and improve my health so I didn't end up like my parents or my in-laws. And that's when I decided I had to do something. I had to change doctors. I had to change my lifestyle, and I had to get strict about something. My BMI at the time was 33 point something. My triglycerides were 194. My cholesterol was at 266. I had found a new doctor, and I had gone for my consult with her. I bawled like a baby in her office as I was telling her everything going wrong, because I was sure that I was early onset of cardiovascular disease. I just was in my head. I just knew that that's what was going on. My cardio sucked. I couldn't be active. I was so tired all day long. I found out that I was diabetic. I had an A1C of 7.1. I went into my diabetic counselor's appointment, and the day before I went in, I ran to Barnes & Noble, and I bought 2 of Dr. Bernard's books on reversing diabetes. I kind of came to learn between my doctor talking to me and the diabetic counselor talking to me that sustaining your glucose, your blood glucose, or maintaining your diabetes were common words that were used. And that wasn't the results I was looking for. I was looking for reversing my diabetes. And fortunately, I stopped beating myself up and realized that I'm very fortunate that I have type 2 diabetes, and that is reversible. You can fix what you have done. So I started taking metformin. I thought, okay, I mean, everybody keeps telling me that I'm going to have to do this, so I might as well do both things. I might as well listen to the doctors and try and find my path in the process. So through my research, I came across Mastering Diabetes Summit. And that was just a blessing in disguise. I had no idea how I would be affected by watching that. I signed up for the free summit. It was 72 hours. I got in about 9 hours of watching doctors talk about everything, and my head was spinning. I have a whole booklet of notes I was trying to scribble, and that's why I probably only got through 9 hours, is I kept stopping and rewinding and stopping and rewinding so I could make sure I wasn't missing anything. In the process of working the program, I got lots of support. I made some very good friends on the program, and the video conference calls were a wealth of knowledge for me. They were a wealth of support. I don't know when the turn came or why the turn came, but it did. It did. And when it does, all bets are off. My life improved tenfold. Where I couldn't walk in a grocery store without my fingers swelling up, or my knees, if I walked around the block, my knees getting so swollen that I couldn't go and work out. I'm feeling 100% better. I don't nap anymore. I couldn't nap if I tried during the day anymore. It's amazing. I have so much energy that when I run into people that I haven't seen before, I guess just the level of energy that I exude when I'm talking to them makes them go, what are you doing? What are you on? You know, because you're talking so fast and you're so excited, and, you know, and I am. I feel like when I turned that corner, I gained my life back. And not my life as a 53-year-old woman, but my life as a 20, 30-something-year-old. I picked up where I left off. I can get on a bicycle and I can go ride 13 miles. Along the course of mastering diabetes, you're going to find that there are many small milestones. I spent probably the first 2 months crying all the time, but happy tears. I got to the weight of the birth of my second child. When I gave birth to him. And that was a huge accomplishment because I hadn't been there in 17 years. And then I got to the weight of where I got pregnant with him at, and the weight that my oldest son was born at. And then I got to the 200 mark. And then I got into my wedding dress that I haven't worn for 19 years. Because it didn't fit. It barely fit me then. And not only did I get into it, but I looked better in it. My next 3 months came in September, which was 6 months after my diagnosis, about 4.5 months after starting my efforts in the program. My A1C was now 5.3. My fatty liver was completely reversed. My cholesterol had gone from the previous 266 and then 244 and then 225 to now 200. My red blood count was fine. My triglycerides had come down to 185. So I had spent a good week and a good couple months from my last labs eating a lot more fruit than I had ever eaten before. And yet now my numbers are coming down. I couldn't say anything more than to trust the program, trust the journey, trust the journey. Going forward, I see that I'm going to continue to work this program for the rest of my life. My life and my genetics depend on it. And I've never felt better in my life, so why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't somebody do this? I've had milestones. I've been able to be physically active for the first time in 25 years, and that chokes me up. I was in Mexico in September, and I looked up at the pyramid in Coba, and I thought, there's just no way I can do this. And I was in flip-flops, okay? I was in flip-flops, and it was 90 degrees outside and very humid, and I was sweaty, and I thought, there's no way I can do this. Not only was I able to do that, but I scaled it without stopping to take a breath. I wasn't out of breath. My knees didn't blow up. My body did not quit on me. My cardiovascular, I was breathing heavy. I had no lie, but my cardiovascular did not stop me or prevent me from going where I had thought for 25 years that was my problem. So I see myself living an even more active life than I ever have before.